to basketball. And I remember seeing a couple of weeks ago, it was like a dunk contest, and it felt like the student section was out there. They were, I mean, just like roaring, ready to go. And Coach Calipari there in year two. Obviously, the Hawks get a big win there to start the season off against Southern. For those that don't keep up with this basketball team, the last time they saw them was in the big dance last year. What does Calipari have back in store this season, and what do you expect of them after that big win in their opener?
Oh, well, he has an even better team than he did last year. Yeah, they went to the Sweet 16 last year. That was great. We were happy after an 0-5 start in SEC play. I don't think anybody predicted this team to go to the Sweet 16 last year, but this team is better than last year's. And if you don't believe me, just look at the schedule, right? This team faces every single team that was in the Elite Eight last year at some part of their season, right? In the non-conference and the conference slate. So look, Calipari, he's not dumb. He's been doing this for a long time. He is a Hall of Fame basketball coach for a reason. He scheduled that schedule because he knows the talent he has. And you saw it on display a little bit against Southern. You saw on display in the 2 exhibition games against Cincinnati and Memphis. I said it last week on the show. This team is going to a Final Four. It takes a lot of luck to get there. If luck is on their side, they have the talent to do it. They return just a plethora of talent. Trevin Brazil was the leading scorer in that game against Southern. Yeah, they return him. They also get back DJ Wagner. They also get back Billy Richmond. And Carter Knox, he didn't even play in that game against Southern. He was dealing with a foot injury, and so he should be good for this Saturday against Michigan State. We feel like he'll be good for that game, but they obviously just wanted to keep him out of that opener just to make sure he was okay. And then you also have 2 freshmen who are just so good, guys. So good. Yeah. Malik Thomas and Darius Acuff. Darius Acuff had 20 points in the first half. Amazing. 14 of those 20 points in that first half, guys, came at the last 3 minutes of the first half. Wow. He just went off. He went off. And he just said, you know what? We're going to put away Southern. And he said, I'm going to do it right now. And then in the second half, you obviously had Malik Thomas. You see it right there, those stats there. But Malik Thomas, 21 points in that game. He can do it all, guys. I sat down with him, and he's not a freshman. I don't care what anybody says. He acts like he is playing in the NBA. That's his mindset, and I love it. Guys, this team, I can't say enough good things about him. I know I went on a rant there, but I'm so excited about this team.
Courtney, I feel like I go back to the Kentucky days, and it felt like early in the season, teams under Coach Cal would put up triple digits. But the one thing that would always kind of scare me about his teams is that they really wouldn't play defense well. And I know this was still a 30-point victory over Southern, but allowing 77 points does scare me a little bit. Was it just guys getting a little bit of time? I mean, I didn't watch the game, so maybe you could help me with that a little bit, because just thinking about it and going back to Jack Golke back in the tournament when Kentucky played Oakland and he just rained threes down on them. The one thing about the Coach Cal teams that just make me a little bit queasy is just the fact that sometimes they don't play defense, and it comes back to haunt them.
Oh, absolutely. And you're totally right on that, because that is something that we've looked at with this team, and we've said, okay, that's something that needs to get better, especially Coach Cal did say it in the post-game press conference last night. You know the first thing that came out of his mouth? He said, we did a lot of things great, but we gave up 12 threes. We gave up 12 threes, people. We can't have that happen. Teams are going to take advantage of us if they can stay in the ball game by shooting threes. You're exactly right, Patrick. You hit the nail on the head, and I was going to say that in terms of talking about this team moving forward, because that is something that concerns a lot of us. Now, Arkansas is playing their game, though, and I like their offense so much right now. The talent they have there, the pace of play, they turn the game into a track meet, right, where nobody can keep up with them, because look at transition. right? Let's just break that down. The reason why they were able to get such a good lead over Southern and put them away was because of fast break points. 32 compared to Southern's 12. That's how they beat you. They want to turn it into a full court game. They have the athleticism. They have the talent to do that with the team that they have. You know, it goes, you know, in comparison, let's talk about Michigan State, who's their next opponent. Tom Izzo's a guy that likes to keep things in the half court, that has a lot of half court sets, right? And really likes to slow the game down and make it their pace of play. That'll be really interesting to see what happens when they face a team like that. I mean, let's be honest here. Michigan State against Colgate, we're talking about giving up threes, right? Michigan State against Colgate, that was why Colgate was able to stay in the game. Right. Because they also gave up, 11 threes?
Colgate's been one of the best three-point shooting teams in the country, though. For the last few years.
Okay. And listen, I'll give some love to Southern, too, who were last season, they were the regular season SWAC champs. Okay. Listen, hold on. Oh, whoa, Patrick.
Whoa, what did I do?
Whoa. I'll tell you this. Don't overlook Southern. Now they need to defend the three. Absolutely. There were some lax plays where I went, what are we doing? Don't give them open looks, because Southern took advantage of them, and you better believe everybody on that non-conference slate is going to take advantage of that. That is something that they are working on, is being more aggressive at, obviously, defending the three. That is something that they're going to do. You're right, Patrick. I don't have the crystal ball. I can't tell you if this team's going to magically fix that.
I tell you what, if you could, though, if you did have a crystal ball, you'd make yourself a few bucks.
I would. I really would, because I'd be able to tell you exactly what happened in every single sports season. But look, we'll say this. Michigan State didn't shoot the three very well. It hasn't shot the three very well. And in that game against Colgate, they didn't. So look, maybe you might be able to squeak out a win over Michigan State, because they are not a really three-point shooting team right now. They might get that together. We'll see. But you're exactly right. You can't give up 12 threes, especially to Southern. You can't do it. You just can't.
Yeah, absolutely. And John Calipari would try to do something that Courtney's dad has done that not a lot of people have done. That's beat Tom Izzo. If you tell us things in the break, we're liable to say them on air. We won't tell any super personal stuff, but your dad beat Tom Izzo once before. So and very few people can say they've beaten the Hall of Famer. Now this team goes to East Lansing. Talk a little bit about the matchup going on the road, and if you trust this team to still produce at the same caliber, high level as they have so far last year and in the first game this year.
I think they do, because like I said, I like Arkansas's offense a lot right now. I think Michigan State still needs to work some things out. Yes, Tom Izzo got some guys to return and some serious ballers on that squad. I'm not giving any hate to the Spartans here. They are a very, very talented team, and I like what we're seeing from them early on. But I like Arkansas's offense better, and I like that Arkansas has guys who can just score at all three levels. I talk about Malik Thomas. He's a guy that, I mean, you have two freshmen on your team, and Malik Thomas and Darius Acuff, that do not care if they miss a bucket. They do not care. They will literally they're like goldfish. They forget about it. They go back down the court. They take the same shot and they'll make it, right? And so that's really great to see. But when it comes to Michigan State and this matchup, I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens, because I talked about they play two different styles of basketball, right? If Arkansas establishes the way they want to play, which, like I said, it's going to be turning it into a track meet. It's going to be trying to get fast break points. It's going to be trying to generate turnovers, right? To generate turnovers to make it into offense and those points for them. That's going to be how they play. They like to play that style in the full court. If it's not that, and you're seeing that because Arkansas scored 109 points in their season opener, right? On the other side of things, Michigan State, right? Only 80 points. That's because they like to slow the game down. Tom Izzo, very good at half court sets, very good at making their game in the half court, which is obviously slowing things down. And so You now have two differing styles of play going up against each other this Saturday. So which one wins out? Who establishes how the game is going to be played up front?
Right.
And here's another thing that I'm looking out for. Michigan State, Tom Izzo's teams, very physical, very aggressive. It's like, man, you look at them, free throws, right? In their games, in their exhibition games, and even against Colgate, they're getting to the line, right? They're just physical. Now, making their free throws, that's another story, but they are physical, and there will be I think they'll try and get to the line and have I hope maybe not, because I like when the teams get to play.
Yeah.
It's boring when it's a lot of free throws, but that's besides the point. They're very physical. And what did Memphis do straight out of the gate in that exhibition game where they looked really good and Arkansas didn't? They established an aggressive style of play. They were incredibly physical. And it was like, whoa, Arkansas didn't know how to handle it. Yes, they settled down. They got into their style of play. And that's when they gassed Memphis, right?
Right.
Because they started up tempo. They started, let's get into our game. If Michigan State can cause Arkansas to not get into a rhythm and play up tempo, they're going to win this ball game. Okay? But Arkansas' style of play, if it's a close game, Michigan State will win, right? They're slowing the game down. It's going to be a close game, and they'll win on a last-minute bucket or something like that. This is Courtney's crystal ball. If Arkansas... You guys laugh at me, but I'm doing it. If Arkansas establishes their pace of play and gets it into a track meet, they're going to have an early lead, look good, and they'll probably win big. I'm not saying win big by 30 points.
Right.
Winning big against two ranked opponents is double digits, right? If you can win by 10 points, 12 points, that's winning big. That will be Arkansas's victory. That's what I'm predicting right now.
I love it.
That's what I'm saying is going to happen.
I love it. The reason why I laughed is because Courtney's Crystal Ball sounds like a perfect name for a sponsor segment thing right in the middle of the show. And when whatever topic we go to, we're going to
3:15 every Wednesday.
And I want you to dress up for it, put like a little fortune teller hoodie on, and go there with the crystal ball. I can see it. I can see it playing out already. And if it's betting style, then hey, people can win some money off of it. John Calipari, Tom Izzo, two active coaches with a national championship. Coach Cal talking about the Spartans.
I don't know how many times he and I have coached against each other, but it's a few. How many? And then, but I've never coached in that arena. And they tell me the arena's crazy. So it's going to be, what's that?
I've been there. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I have not been, so I'm kind of excited about that. I don't like coaching against friends. And I think Tom's the same way. Like, if we win, I'll be excited, and I'll see him, and I'll feel like crap. And he'll be the same way, you know. No, we're, playing it. He'll come here next year. It's a great home and home. He's a Hall of Famer, and he's a great friend. He and I get on the phone with our wives listening and just laugh for 45 minutes, and then we feel better crap we're dealing with. And so, terrific coach, terrific person, and I'm proud about calling him my friend.
That was really good stuff there. Talking about Coach Izzo and just how much he means to him, and the fact that they have only played a handful of times there in that matchup. Before we let you go, we want to turn to the other side on the court. The women's basketball team obviously getting off to a really strong note. The SEC is going to be very tough, obviously, with South Carolina. Tennessee seems to be looking back as well. What's in store here for the Razorbacks on the female side?
Well, I'm very impressed so far. And this is just early on, right, guys?
Yeah,
and we've seen this team a little bit in practice, but this was the first time we got to see what the Kelsey Music era is going to look like. And I thought it was impressive to really see this team. They were down 17-2 in the first quarter. Wow. And I thought, oh, my gosh. This is going to be the same old story with the Arkansas women's basketball team. Things haven't changed. oh my goodness, this is not good. I mean, I almost cut the highlights from my show because I thought this was just going to be such a bad blowout against Louisiana Tech. And, you know, the Lady Techsters, that's a good team to start off your season with.
Right.
I get it. It's, you know, I get it. It's not starting off your season against a Michigan State or something like that, you know, but it's still, there's still good competition. And you had people going in and saying, wait a second, why did we schedule Louisiana Tech to start off our season with? I mean, Kelsey Music's really bold to do that, but I was impressed to see they came back from being down by 15 to go on and get that victory. And that just goes to show Kelsey Music was not blowing smoke when she said in her opening press conferences and what this team was going to do. You saw exactly what she preaches. She preaches faith, family, fearless. Those are the three pillars, right? Obviously, faith in what your team can do, faith outside of what your team can do, you know, as well. Just faith in life. Family, they're a family, of course. They got to stick together throughout the season. And fearless. And I felt like we saw those pillars in action. They stayed together as a group. They didn't break. They came back. They really they said, you know what? We're not down in this game. We're going to make sure we go out and win it. Family, they stuck together. Faith, they had faith in what they could do, and they were fearless from the second quarter on to watch that team come back. I know the SEC is tough, but you have to lean on that. If you're going to win it. They don't have the same talent as everybody else. They don't. I'll say that. They're not a South Carolina. They're not an LSU. They're just not. I mean, even Ole Miss and other teams, they're not the same talent caliber. But they could sneakily get some teams in the SEC if they play like they did last night. They're never out of a game. It's like, you know, you ask these girls and they're like, nope. We were going to win that game. And I thought that shows the culture shift. And it was so badly needed at the University of Arkansas with the women's basketball team. And so I think people are very excited to see what Kelsey Music can do with this squad moving forward.
Absolutely. I think that's perfectly put. Don't gauge this team so much on the wins and losses. It is a culture shift in the foundation they're building over there in Hogs Country. Courtney, you're awesome. Crystal ball. Courtney's crystal ball.
Courtney's crystal ball. We'll get it. We'll make it happen.
Can we do it?
We're gonna superimpose the crystal ball right in the middle there, and then you're just gonna, you know, like right there, and then boom, and light us on the future.
We're gonna take the mic and we're gonna make it into a crystal ball.
Yes.
And then Wednesdays at 3:15, I'm just gonna come on with you guys and give you my crystal ball for college basketball.
Yes,
it's gonna be
please
great.
Perfect. And by the time the crystal ball is actually, you know, in full form, we'll have our first head coaching news, hopefully so, coming from the Razorbacks. Who might be the next head coach? I'm just saying that's the one I'm looking forward to the most.
Don't try and make me crystal ball that one. It changes daily.
Well, we'll give you a few weeks.
It changes daily.
Hey, I figured that. I figured that. Courtney, you're awesome. Thank you for your time today here on Southeast Sports Plus.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate y'all.